and then get to the mission statement. Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non-dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and allow for open dialogue. Attendance today at the Helping Parents Heal meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to learn about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. And I'd just like to say that these YouTube Zoom meetings, the Zoom meetings are uploaded to YouTube because they help parents throughout the world. So this one, although the meetings are normally confidential, this one will be uploaded to YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm Carol Allen. I know so many of you. I am I'm on the board. I'm a caring listener, and I'm the Cave Creek affiliate leader. And I also do our book club once a quarter. So this way it enables everybody from around the world to be able to join. So I am going to read our beautiful Raina's bio. I read her book, by the way, and was very excited to invite her here. So, Raina Irene is a heart, soul, spirit practitioner and the owner of Beauty, Strength, and Healing Incorporated. She is a licensed esthetician and holds multiple certificates in holistic health, spiritual and emotional healing, plant medicine, Reiki, angels, and the afterlife. Raina's eclectic and spiritual diversity enables her to tap into your unique needs, supporting and guiding you to clarity and connecting you with your own healing energy. Raina holds healing circles with the emphasis on inner wisdom and understanding grief. Educating from a heart of experience from an early age, Raina was aware of the spirit world. When she was a teenager, her older sister went to spirit, greatly impacting her view on life and what was afterwards. In her early 30s, after her father's transition, she began an even deeper exploration into the afterlife. However, it was her son's sudden departure in 2017 that shifted her awareness and took her on a journey from heart-shattering grief to the realization that their bond is unbreakable, living, and still possible. With her son in spirit serving as her teacher, she has learned to recognize, interpret, and respond to the messages we receive from the ones we love in spirit. She now works with mothers who have children in spirit, helping them to understand that communication with their child is not only possible, but happening all of the time. All you have to do is believe, and you will see. Love is forever. Our bonds continue. And without further ado, I'm very excited to introduce Raina.
Oh, thank you. That made me cry. I haven't heard that in a while, and I was like, oh, like, sorry, that's happened. Like, I need a Kleenex. So I am beyond honored to be here. I'm blown away by what is even happening right now. And I just thank you. I'm just honored. I'm gonna take a deep breath. So I did write a few notes down. So if I look down, first of all, because of Josiah, right? I just want you to stop for a second and just say to yourself, because of, then your child, because of. Because of them, those words are like a light around us. And it illuminates everything that we do now. The way we think, the way we feel, the way we process information is because of them, right? It's everything I do is because of Josiah. Like I'm here right now talking to you beautiful parents because of Josiah. So help me, Josiah. Like, help me now. And, you know, this is the unimaginable, and we're present to it now. And everything I do is influenced because of the light of him, because of the love of him, and because of Josiah. Not that my other children don't have influence, they do, but nothing like this unimaginable energetic shift in our lives has illuminated more than this. Nothing else is this powerful, in my opinion. Okay, that was our minute meditation. Because of our children, right? But that's how easy it is to call them into us, to call them here, to bring their energy to us, is just by saying, okay, like, it's because of you, you're illuminating the situation and you're here. It's just that easy to bring them. That's mine. So I'm really real, I'm really raw, and I can be really silly. So just bear with me. And I can be heading in this direction in a conversation and turn this direction, tell you something different. So and I always want to ask, and I can't actually see everybody, but has anybody read the book? Okay, so a few of you have. So what I would like to do is just take a minute, and there's a short story in the beginning of the book. And I want to just read that to you because I think it'll really give you the essence of the book. And it's what was the catalyst that kind of started this journey for me. So it's about, I don't know, 5 minutes. I don't know how long it'll take me. Depends how much I stumble over my words. So, okay. So if that's okay with you, I'm going to read you a quick story. And I think you guys are all going to really get it. And it's called Polish Through the Pain. October 2018. No one tells you how the story will end. Like watching a movie, you guess, assume, and conjure up an outcome that makes the most sense to you. So many movies leave us puzzled, perplexed, and bewildered, wondering how could the screenwriter think the audience would leave the theater satisfied with such an ending? You know what I'm talking about. That what just happened, that ending sucks kind of movies. Yet life smacks us with these kind of endings to the movies we are living more often than we want to view. Instantly, you look down and see your heart is in the palm of your hand. You are void of air, and you wonder how you will insert it back in its proper position. This was me a year ago when an instant message asking me for my phone number changed the space of my reality. A phone call to a hospital hundreds of miles away, and the voice on the other end speaking the unimaginable. Your son was in a motorcycle accident. We gave him CPR for an hour, but there is no but. Shut up. Stop talking to me. You are not real. This is not the way the story ends. As I turned into a mist in my kitchen, I unconsciously handed the tainted voice on the phone to my husband, and the vapor I had now become reappeared outside, screaming his name. Josiah, 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 where are you? Where are you? Since I had no legs, the ground was my only refuge. Laboring to breathe, I could hear a crackling from my hand that now held my heart, shredded. The earth had shifted, simultaneously expanding my understanding that had vanished. Love began to appear in the form of siblings, aunts, uncles, father, and friends, each one entering with their hands dripping with the shreds of not only my heart, but not only their hearts, but mine as well. Love has a unique dialect in a crisis and had advised them to hold a piece of mine. As each one of my beautiful children, relatives, and friends managed to find my midst, our shreds blended until only one heart could be felt, his. One by one, I gathered back the ribbons of my heart from theirs. This is my enigma, and I need every ribbon if I'm going to survive this unimaginable alteration in the script and not just go with him, which momentarily teetered my thoughts. How one day can alter perspective like no other day has a possibility of doing, leaving you with more questions and no answers. What do I do with the tear-stained shreds that were once a heart? How do I reshape it and place it back into its proper position? What choice do you have when you have no choice? All I believed withered into the unstable earth my weakened bones now lay upon. I am now unmolded clay on a sculptor's wheel, but how do I mold and create the next part of my present moment when I am clayless vapor? How do I surrender to the sculptor to mold me and move me in the direction I will become, the creation that only dark despair creates? Grief has a way of sliding through you like no other emotion, shape-shifting the current of your DNA. I felt like a moment was too distant to wander to. I believed I was broken beyond human recognition and that this was going to be the remainder of my existence. When you are shredded, however that comes to be, you have a choice. You can absorb, digest, and become, or you can stay defeated, which silences the healing and secrets, the rescripting of the docudrama you are now living. A friend asked me, what gift did he leave you? Which challenged the alignment of my mind. So I began to question the gift in the shreds, in the ribbons of my heart, in the vaporized clay. I asked myself, what form do you choose to become? And how will you recalculate, reevaluate, and respond to this act in your movie? I am now in the scene where I am faced with life at its rawest expression of cruelty. At least this is my initial perception. The path feels wrong, blurred with deception. The earth is lying to me without words. And if this is not how it's supposed to end, then I am not in an ending. I am in a pause, an intermission where the actors realign and relationships redefined, including mine with Josiah. And there it was. Love appeared again, now in the vexed eyes of my children. Will she stay or will she go? And since there was no way I was leaving them, I could feel the two worlds merging. How do I stay here with him and be here with them? My breath now bleeding, I sang out, Josiah, it has been too many days, too many quiet moments. My labored breath awaits your voice, the void with no end, awaiting tears that perch my soul. With ink still wet and without warning, I heard him. Oh, mother of this earth, I am with you. I hold your heart from here, stronger than I could when there. It is I that hurt your soul. His ginormous spirit was reminding me that he had me, that his presence had just changed form, that he was happy, healthy, healed, and whole now, and that he would guide my way, our way, maybe yours as well. I honestly can't not give you a time frame when I reappeared in my body. I am sure I'm not all there now, and quite possibly I never will be. I like the place in between, the merge. But what I have come to know is I cannot be there unless I'm here. Unless I live in love, I won't be able to transmute this pain, which is love on the deepest level. We have all loved and lost. We have all carried the ribbons and gathered the shreds. To say I'm grateful doesn't feel right, but it doesn't feel wrong. Just the mere fact that he chose me, that I had him in my body, and that his magical being loved me, I am humbled. Gratitude seems too faint in expression. If you were to ask me, Raina, if you knew this was part of the script, would you say yes again? I would answer yes. 1,000,000 times yes. Yes to loving him, yes to knowing him, yes to the privilege of being his mother, yes to the magic that is Josiah. And as my tears stain these pages, I say yes, for the gift he gave me was himself, and I am beyond grateful. Now I have form again, and I am being sculpted into something other than what I once was. My ribbons lay upon the sculptor differently, yet uniquely still mine, repurposed. And though it may take beyond this lifetime to see the polished performance from this movie, to see the glossy finish, I willingly say, yes, polish me, spirit, polish me, angels, polish me, Josiah. Let me be love, let me be light, and let me honor you in my movie, because it's not over. To love is our greatest gift. To be love is even greater. Will you gather the ribbons? Will you embrace your enigma? And will you rise with me to call on love to show you the gift? There are some pains so great that others fade into comparison. Choose to be polished, for even if you can't see that you shine, someone else can. I can. My heart, my soul, my spirit, my life will never be the same. It will be stronger because of Josiah.
Before you continue, I just want to say that is absolutely gorgeous. And I'll shut up. It was beautiful.
Thank you. So I was asked to write in a compilation about gratitude, compilation book. And I was just coming up to the 1 year. And I was like, girl, you're crazy, first of all. No, there's no way I'm writing. And she was like, well, you wished you had written in these other books. And I'm like, yeah, but that was on meditation or angels. You're asking me about gratitude. And I said, not that I don't have anything to be grateful for, but I can't do it right now. If it's on sorrow, pain, suffering, I'm your gal, because I'm coming up to this 1 year, but no. So her name was Carol. And she was like, you have to do this. Just sign up and do it. And it was a lot of sugarcoating words that she was saying, but I said, okay. And within 4 days, I wrote this. And halfway through, I was telling myself, this is too heavy. And I was crying, obviously I cried through most of the book, but I was crying and crying and crying. And I was like, it's too much. Like, I can't publish this. And I have an old boot box full of papers from God, I wrote just minutia, I've always written, I'm an emotional writer. So I've always written. And I thought, well, let me go get that box and let me see what's in there. Well, Josiah had already started to show up with dimes. He had this man hippie bag that had dime bag on it. And so dimes had come right away. And I get the box out, this box. I hadn't even taken this box out since I had moved to this house I'm in now. And so I had to go find it. I pull it out. I'm going through all this ridiculosity that I've written over the years. And I'm like, no. I pull up to the bottom of the box. I've literally lifted all the pages. There's a dime at the bottom of this shoebox. And I was like, how is a dime here? Because that's what happens. They come in places that are just bizarre. And I was like, and then of course I cried again. And I said, okay, I'll continue, because there's nothing. And I finished the story and submitted it. So fast forward, I'm now so that was like the beginning of October. October 22nd is the day he left. And I'm having a lot of I'm running into people. I go into this retreat because I just thought I got to get away. And I could barely go to the store, right? You guys know that energy of the first year. And so there was a retreat up in our local mountains, like 30 minutes. And I thought I could do that. I got to get away. And I knew the women that were putting it on. There was 15 women there and 3 of us had sons in spirit. And for some reason that triggered me, it triggered me in a way that was like, this is impossible. This is absolute insanity right now. Like, how is this possible? And so it started to make me go like, I got to do something, I might need to make a group and I hadn't been on social media. Like, I didn't look for a group in the first year. I didn't even know about helping parents heal. And I was like, I got to do something. And then I was sitting having coffee and I heard Josiah say, well, he wasn't talking to me, first of all. He was talking to the spirit world. And I heard form. Do I have to become form again? I like it here. Why must I go? And then I'm hearing the ethereals, what came to me. Well, she needs you. They need you. He's like, I don't want to go. So there was this little story going on. And I jumped up and I went, what the world is that about? So I wrote it down and I realized I was writing like before he came here. Like I was getting this, I don't know, download. And then could hear, because now I had written this one story. So I was privy to all these authors and publishers, because they put you in these different groups. And I heard him, well, I think he pushed me because I felt this like call, this Shanda. And I called her thinking she's going to tell me I'm nuts. Your story's ridiculous. You don't have to write a book. Of course, she was the opposite. Well, the first year I had bullet pointed all the signs I had, because I wasn't really writing except deep love letters to him, deep love letters. And I had a sheet of paper and I had just wrote butterfly, the dime, and I had just written these little bullet points down. And she says, write the stories, go back and write those stories out. And I started to write them out with clear vision, as if he was sitting next to me with clear vision. And I started to write the stories out. And I started to write about his, when he was, because, the way he was born, he was my third child, but I knew I was going to have Josiah. I knew he was coming before I had children. So I wrote out that story, and then I just started writing out stories and stories and stories. And then I'd walk away, because it's not an easy task, to write your stories out, but it's so important to write them out. So I just kept just writing. And when I was finally, it took me 2 years, but I was writing very actively within my journey, because I started right after the 1 year and I finished like right after the 3 year. So, but I needed those stories, because I was walking the journey and writing the stories, and walking the journey and writing the stories. And something would happen, and then I write it, and then I would like dig a hole and I put my head in the sand and cover it, because it was so painful. And so that's how the whole book came out. So the book was, this is the form that my grief showed up in and my love showed up in, and it just came into book form. And so Josiah, let me tell you a little bit about him. And if I start to get off and you need to push me back, just go ahead and go, Raina, you're way over here, and you were over here a minute ago. So Josiah, he was really a unique kid. I knew I was going to have him. I knew I was having Josiah David, and I had 2 other kids. I was clear that my first child was not him. Right towards the end, I didn't even know if I was having boys or girls. I didn't have any ultrasounds. So I knew that the first one wasn't Josiah. I knew the second one wasn't. So when I was like, please, like, let this one be Josiah. So I knew he was coming. I knew there was something about him that was different. And just from a really early age, he was funny. He was very clean. He was really he wasn't a mama's boy, but he was, the baby. And he would suck his thumb and hold my hair. And he was really artistic and just a really cool kid, and into sports. And then he got into the circus acts. In Redlands, we have what we call the Great American Y Circus. And he joined that around 12. And that was it. He just shifted. So he was very, theatrical, and very, very, he liked to perform, he liked to laugh, he worked at Disney, he was into circus arts. And then 2 days before his 20th birthday, he came out to do circus antics, I call them, for his brother's child's birthday. And he liked to breathe fire. I did not like this. This was not part of the circus act, but that was his side gig. And he started to have a lot of lung problems that day. And he went back to Orange. He was living in Orange County, and he ended up having to go to hospital, and they found a mass in his chest. And from that moment, or that diagnosis on, he went from this Orange County yuppie to this down to the earth, like hippie, just like a guru. I mean, he just went into such a spiritual journey, and it was so amazing to watch. I call it the evolution of Josiah. So he chose not to do any chemotherapy and to heal himself naturally. And he traveled, and he just had this way about him, and everywhere he went, he was like the Pied Piper, and he just, kept that at bay for about 7 years. The last 2 years, it was really taking a toll on him, and we were having to press in a little harder on that. And then he got on a motorcycle, and so he was healing his body again after a really brutal summer. And I was concerned about his health then, and kind of knew like something was going to happen. So, but it was kind of coming up this way that it was going to be like the illness, and then like I got whammed with the other way where it was an accident. And so that's that's kind of what happened there. And so immediately, I'm sure immediately he started to show up. Probably in the first few days, I had like cataracts over my eyes, because you're like shut, you just, you go with them. I mean, in my opinion, you kind of go with them. So you're kind of in the world, and you're kind of out of the world for a moment there. But that was a Sunday. And by, I think it was like a Tuesday, a gal had showed up, and she said to me, Raina, you have this magenta glow around you. I'm going to point out on something on that too. In that one series that just came out, not the one that you guys are in, it's a different one. It's about like, I'll get it for you. But anyways, they talk about young people, when they leave this earth, they have a magenta glow. I was blown away. I like text her real fast. I was like, girl. Anyways, and she talked about, for me to use rose essential oil. Rose is like about divine love. I was going to share a little about that later, but and then a butterfly came through and then goes out. And that night they came in, and I was playing with some oracle cards because I felt led to. And the picture on the card was of a woman with magenta glow, and she had roses around her hair. And I was like, okay, you're confirming what we knew before. So I'll get into that oracles later. But the dimes, a dime in my shoe, in my closet, a dime right in front of me is a massage table where I would do my work here. And when I see clients, nobody pays me in this room. We always walk out of this room. Nobody pays me in change. There's no reason for a dime to be on the end of my massage table. So that was showing up. And then there's a huge butterfly story where we saw them outside. So the signs were coming, right away, real rapidly, where I call it the alchemy of Josiah, because he was called an alchemist by his, friends. And so he was just like showing me, I'm going to come in all these different ways, and you are going to put the puzzle pieces together. They're going to figure this out, Mom, which, that's what they want for us. They want us to figure it out. They want us to pay attention. So let me pause for a second. Does anybody have any questions, or is there anything like, did I miss some points in there?
I'm looking to see, I don't see anyone has any. I mean, everyone's praising you, of course, and saying how powerful. But as far as questions so far,
Okay.
no. So I would say continue.
Keep going? Okay.
Keep going.
So I know in the book I share a lot of stories and a lot of different ways that Josiah came through, and I just talked about the alchemy, where it would be through dreams or through a presence of energy, through numbers. So the first thing, if I was going to share anything, and the whole reason the book is really, my stories are meant to hopefully make you more aware of what to look for just by hearing the stories. And so the very first thing I want to share with you is to just be aware. Just have your senses up. And that means like everything. So if you're not normally like, you know, if you're like, well, what does that mean? Pay attention to everything. I mean, the speck of dust, the buzzy fly, the leaf. No. Do I think Josiah is the speck of dust? No. You know, the buzzy fly maybe sometimes, but the reality is once you start to pay attention to like the small, oh, the dust, oh, this, oh, that, you start to awaken those senses in you, and you start to train yourself. That's maybe a better way to say it, to be aware. So then you start to pay attention. Oh, wait. Oh, I just saw 22 on that license. And oh, wait, there's enough. Oh, wait, are you talking to me right now? And so you're starting to see the different things that are out there. So just pay attention to every single thing and just allow that to open you more. You might already be super aware of things, so that's even better. But just be aware, like of the bird that goes by. Is that for me? You know, and then feel your body, like feel yourself. You know, because for me, I feel mostly, and so I feel his energy next to me, and so that's just it. And then just believe. Just believe. I mean, there's nobody that can come in here and tell me that's crazy. That wasn't Josiah. You need to leave right now. You can't tell me that. So just believe. Just trust yourself and trust what's happening around you. Just believe that you know, you walked out into this place that never had flowers, and there's one flower there. Okay, thank you for the flower, son. You know, it can be something so small. I've had huge things happen, and I've had very small little things, but I'm always paying attention to every single thing that's happening. And I think that's what helped, because I just paid attention, and I believed. I wanted it to be, and so it is. And I had a really cool thing. So when I will tell you this story, Elizabeth, you'll like this. So when I joined Helping Parents Heal, one of your gals wrote me, and I had gone to Disneyland, which I was super concerned about going because Josiah worked there, but I went with my daughter and her 2 kids. And Eamon's mother. So she wrote me to welcome me. And so we started chatting, and it was, you know, the 29 years old and the tattoos, and we're chatting. I was completely ditched my children. Like, I got to talk to this woman right now. So that night, because it literally raised my vibration so high to have that conversation with her, that when I went to bed that night, he came so strong. I dreamt I was sitting right where I am. In my dream, I was the observer, and I was sitting here. Very unique. My other son was over here. You can't see me. Josiah's energy was right here. And he was talking to me. We were conversing. We were just talking back and forth to each other. And I remember in my dream knowing that I was asking him questions and he was answering, but I don't know like what I was saying. I just know that's what we were doing. And then there's a door right over here. So in my dream, a little boy walked in the door with a balloon, and I said, Josiah. A little boy just walked in. And then all of a sudden, his whole energy went inside my body. It was like this. And then I heard a knock on the door in the hotel, and then a knock across the hall, and then a knock across the hall, and back at my door. And I jumped up and I was like, oh, somebody's gonna go, something's going down right now. He woke me out of that dream. And but nobody was out there. So I immediately got my pencil or pen or whatever and paper, and I went in the bathroom because everybody was sleeping, and I wrote this down. I had felt him, I had talked to him, I had seen him, and then somebody woke me up. So you know who woke me up? Josiah did, because how would I remember? If you wake up sometimes too far out of your dream, you can't remember them all. So that day, so I'm like, oh my gosh, you're teaching me exactly what I need to do. I need to sit right here, meditate. Your energy will come and we'll like be like connected or something. So that day we go to Disneyland, we go on one ride, we go up to the soaring across the universe now, or not universe, the world. And we pull up, we get socked in, right? Boom, 300 people in front of us, socked in, 300 people behind us. What do I hear? Josiah. The gal right next to me's child was Josiah. And I was like, oh, okay. Like that's, out of all the people at Disneyland, that's insane. Of course, my daughter said, don't say anything because it'll be weird. Because you'll be weird, Mom, is basically it. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that story because it's such a cool story. So the biggest thing and the most important thing about connecting with our children and keeping these bonds connected, they're there no matter what. But for us to be able to sense it and respond to it is by raising our vibration and keeping our levels up higher. And there's ways to do that. Meditate. And I know a lot of people think, well, if I meditate, I can't shut my mind off, you know. Meditation comes in so many forms. It could be when you're in the shower, in the shower, I'm quiet. So, okay, then, take that moment. You can be walking. You can be, don't limit yourself to having to be completely shut down. Open yourself to just knowing that what you're doing is elevating your energy so that you feel better and you can connect in better. So whatever form that takes. Essential oils, they are concentrated plant medicine. So any kind of trees, flowers, anytime you're in nature, you're going to raise your vibration. If you're inside, plant medicine is, and I'm talking about like, herbs and essential oils, they raise your vibration. So like rose is for divine love, and sandalwood is for sacred devotion. Thyme is releasing and forgiving. Wintergreen's for surrender. So that's a whole nother story, but like just trust your intuition. If you're in a store or you know somebody who has them or whatever, and you're like, I need lavender. Okay. Well, lavender is all about calming, but it's also about communication. So it helps you communicate and communicate. So like, just trust all that. Just trust yourself. Like you just can't get it wrong. Like you just trust whatever you need. And then, read. And that doesn't mean you have to read 500 pages a day. Read something or learn something that interests you, that helps grow you spiritually, that helps grow you in any way you can. Just be willing to expand yourself. I know sometimes it's not easy, so just do it in small amounts. Like, let's say you're just interested in ceramics. Okay, go learn about ceramics. It doesn't have to be so intense. Give yourself something that gives you some sort of peace and some sort of joy, because I know it feels like you'll never have joy again, but grief and love and sadness and joy and all those things they're married. They're all together and they're all our emotions. And there's days where I don't feel any joy. Some days are just meh, like I don't want to do anything. I just want to be with my kid. And there's other days where I feel like I could run a marathon. So like allow yourself to be in whatever day you're in also, like just allow that. A big thing for me also is self-care. I'm really, the second story I did was all about self-care, because it's really easy for us to neglect that, especially in the first, moments, and so and it could take a toll on your body. So if grief or trauma, especially this kind of trauma, can really take a toll on our bodies. I'm not saying it hasn't taken a toll on my body, because I think it aged me 50 years, but it can really take a toll. And those first couple of years are really crucial about that too. So anything you can do for yourself, whether that's getting energy work, Reiki, yoga, a massage, a facial, a walk, get a puppy. That's what I did. Get a puppy, something that, make sure you take your vitamins. I mean, I'm just like, try to eat well. I'm just really, these are things that will actually, they sound so like, what are you talking about? They actually help you, because when you feel better, you can be more aware, because we're foggy, grief brain's a real thing, and we can get really, kind of like out of it, so it'll help clear some of that energy, so that you can be aware. I think I said all that. And then of course, the oracles. So I do oracle readings already. That's kind of what I do. It's part of what I do, not all of what I do. So I was working with Talking to Heaven by James von Prague. And there was things that would come through in that would blow my mind. Like just, how did you just answer me right now? Because that's bizarre. So, if you can, I'm just going to tell you what I do. Okay. And you take it or leave it. So another thing that happened was, before, there's a place in the book where I talk about a juggernaut. It's right after Josiah, I heard about it. It was like, no, actually it was right before. It was the day before. And I had a dream, and my husband and I were about to hit a semi. So I started looking up the meaning of the dream, and it says, that there's this juggernaut. I'm like, what's a juggernaut? So a juggernaut is where you, you're just kind of in this quandary, and all this stuff's going on. And I'm like, well, like it's going to take its toll on you and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I only have some projects going. So one of them was I was going to make this oracle deck. I just wanted to create it around angels and anyways, long story short, towards the end, Josiah started quickening me to make a deck that reflected some of the energy of what he's been talking about through this book. And so I was going to make it based on some other ideas I had in my head. And I had this little book form, and look, anyways, my husband comes in and he says, I thought you'd use a tree. And I said, a tree? You just screwed me up. So long story short, I started downloading all these trees of life, looking, and couldn't find anything that made any sense to me. And he had already left to go up north. And I heard a song. I was back here, it was morning, and I heard a song. I don't even know what it was, because it just sent me into this grief. And I know there's days where I'm like, I'm going down, and I can't go down right now. So like change it to classic rock, or, like change your music right now, because you can't, you got to go pick up the grandson, or you can't do it right now. But this day I was like, I'm going in, and I'm going in good. And so I went in the other room, and I cried for, I gave myself a couple hours. It was a good one. It was a good one. And I mean that sincerely, because sometimes those need to be had, they just need to be had. And when I came out of that, my friend called me. Now, remember, I had just been in my head, and then I stepped into my heart over there. And I'm telling her what's going on. I'm telling her what's telling you. Husband chimes in. I said, let me call him. He's let me know he's in Oregon. And so I get on the phone with him, and I say to him, I don't even say hello. I go, you screwed me up. And he says, I'm at your service. And I said, I can't find a tree. And then I'm talking, and all of a sudden I said, and he goes, what? Waterworks come. And I said, Josiah's tree. Josiah made me this. And I was like, Josiah's tree. I'm going to use Josiah's tree. So I called the gal who was helping me, and she was able to do it digitally. And so we made this deck, and it's called Sacred Alchemy, Connecting You to the Ones You Love in Spirit. And on the other side, we used 4 of his mandalas of his woodwork. I have that one. I actually have a couple of these. And then the Flower of Life. There's just 4 different, and I'm just telling you what I did. And then the Merkaba. So there's 11 of each of those 4 types with messages. Some of them are things I've actually said in the book because they were channeled from him. And oh, you know what? Speaking of channeling, let me backtrack for a minute. Let me go left. So writing. If you don't write, I want to really encourage you to jot down, okay? You don't have to write a book. You don't have to write a whole page. But every time you feel, think, or see something that feels like your child, just write it down. Just bullet point it. And, you know, maybe then it'll get you writing. But what happened with me when I started to write is I started channeling Josiah. And I would write, and then I would just keep writing. And then when I go back and look, I realized he had been speaking to me through it. Even like that, oh, mother of the earth, it is I that purge your soul. That was him. And so I just want to, and I think I say it in the book about journaling, and I just want to encourage you. Do I write every single day? I hardly written everything since this book came out. I wanted to go to sleep for a while, but you know, I'm not going to tell you to do something I wouldn't do. So I recommend it. So I just want to backtrack there. But so these came out. I sat down with him and with some of the thoughts, and I know that in what I would want to hear. Well, what do I want? What do I want to hear? I want to hear, I love you. And then I want to hear, no, I love you more, because that's part of the deal. So it's part of it. So there's beautiful messages. And here's how I feel about oracles, especially when you're connecting to your child. Yes, you could pull a card every morning and say, you know, we are still connected. And that's exactly what you want to hear in the morning. Definitely you can do it. I'm not telling you not to. But I call it the nudge, and you just almost feel a pull to it. Like, I know you have something to tell me, and I feel blah, 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 blah. And the next thing you know, you're saying, I feel so guilty. And then the card comes out, it's not your fault. And so like, just if you're going to use them and allow your heart to move you in them, if that makes sense to you. So, so then we created that, and that was very stressful. To be honest with you, it was very stressful.
Raina,
yes.
we have a few more minutes. So I was thinking, if you'd like to, if someone would want, maybe you can pull a card for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Does anybody have any questions, or am I answering everything?
Yeah, I'm hearing that they would love that. Maybe we have time for a few cards. That would be awesome.
Okay, what time is it?
It is 6:50. It is 6:50.
If I don't have a lot of explanation, I could pull a card for everybody. I mean, there's 29 people, so I could pull a card. I just have to kind of go faster so we don't go over too much time for you guys. I can't promise that I won't expand. So do you want to say a name, and you tell me the name and I'll just go from there? Or do you want to make sure they want a card? How would you like to do that?
Yeah, so maybe Elizabeth, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say that Carla and Terry have both said that they would like to have their card pulled. Donna is as well. So maybe we can try to get through the people who are expressing
Yeah.
interest.
Yeah.
Vincenza is saying it as well. So depending, we can go a little bit over if people are willing to do so. If Carol can, if you can, and if the people who are on here, Dixie is wanting one as well. Sarah, sounds like something that a lot of people would like. So I'm not sure. Okay, maybe start at the top of the list, Carol, and read the names of the people that
Just read me, give me one name at a time and I'll pull a card.
Okay, absolutely. Anna.
Anna? Okay. Anna, it's okay to laugh. I want you to feel again. It's okay to laugh. I want you to feel again.
Beautiful. Okay, let's go to Barb. Barb Flicks.
I might have to do it a different way. I remain a kiss on your lips and the words of your heart. I remain a kiss on your lips and the words of your heart. Just like gave me that message in a dream. That's actually the last chapter of the book.
Beautiful. Blanca Josnik.
Okay, Blanca. Our bonds continue. Our bonds continue. So amazing. Next,
Carla.
Carla. Nope, I love you more. I love you more. In fact, it's no, I love you more. Trumping you.
Carmen Nugent.
Carmen, I am so grateful to you. I am so grateful to you. And if any of these really like you go like, well, that makes no sense to me, I mean, put it in the chat. I'd love to hear that.
Chris.
Chris, I hold your heart from here stronger than I could when there.
Beautiful.
I hold your heart from here stronger than I could when there. I really believe that. How could they not be? How could they not be?
Absolutely. Dilar Singh.
Got another no, I love you more. I love you more. I love you more.
Denise.
Denise. Free yourself from guilt. It is not your fault. Can we all use that one? We all hold so much responsibility in our bodies. It is not our fault. Free yourself.
Thank you. Dixie Neff.
Dixie, you vibrate to a frequency altered by the unimaginable, and that frequency is the same as mine. When they changed, we changed. We're still the same. Oh, I got the chills on that one too.
Donna.
Donna. Okay. I visit you while you sleep. I visit you while you sleep. Even if you don't remember, they're there.
Galen. Galen Call.
Galen. I am sorry. Forgive me. I love you. I am sorry. Forgive me. I love you.
Heidi.
What'd you say?
Heidi.
Oh, Heidi. Sorry. Heidi.
Heidi. No worries.
The deeper you cry, the tighter my hug. The deeper you cry, the tighter my hug. Don't think that when you cry, that somehow your vibration is low, because it's not. It's only low if you're angry cry. But if you love cry, you're at the top of the list.
Oh. Janine. Did I say Janine? No, that was Heidi. Janine.
Janine, talk to me. I am listening. I am always listening. Talk to me. I am always listening.
Oh, I love that one. Janice Benke, Moat.
Janice, I send you messages in nature. And nature's huge. So there's a lot of messages.
Mhm. Jesselyn Roxas.
Jesselyn? I like this one. Your DNA has shape-shifted to be closer to me. Let me explain that one.
Mhm.
Remember I said grief has a way of cutting through you like no other, shape-shifting the current of your DNA, shape-shifting it to be closer to them.
Beautiful. Julie R.
Julie, your heart, soul, and spirit are stronger because of me.
Nancy Anderson.
Nancy, what we have is sacred. What we have is sacred.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's see, I just lost my place here. Rhonda Andrews.
Rhonda, time cannot separate us. Time cannot separate us.
Sarah Olson.
Pay attention to the smallest details. Pay attention to the smallest details.
Sue.
Sue, I am happy, healthy, healed, and whole. I want that for you. I don't know if you can see him.
I have people saying, I said that to him in meditation today. Good job. That's from Nancy.
Yes, I love that.
Oh, okay. So Sunflower.
Sunflower, I understand from a higher perspective. So they understand. They know where they are. They understand. And I don't know about you, but I want his perspective, right? Like you understand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Terry Schmidt.
Terry, I am in the alchemy of everything.
Mm,
That's in that illuminated light that they are.
mhm. Trupti Pandi.
We are creating the next part of our present moment. Now is all that matters. Now is all that matters.
Vincenza.
Pause and feel me. If you can quiet yourself to do anything, this is the one you want. It's just a.
Beautiful. I think okay, I think this is the last one, but please let me know if I somehow missed you. Nancy Clark.
Nancy, this is my favorite card. You are the love of my love. You are the love of my love. there anybody
Thank you
else?
so much, Raina.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think we've got everybody. I don't have anyone that says, but I'll tell you, we're getting just so beautiful, beautiful messages. Thank you, Raina. Beautiful. Thank you with hearts. Nice. Thank you. Thanks. I'm stronger. I already said, I said that to him in meditation today. Good job, Raina. Rhonda had one already. I would love one too, but we did that. But I mean, everybody is just saying what a beautiful soul you are, and
Oh,
they're so
thank you.
grateful to be here. And I've read her book, and it's just so, it's so uplifting. I love how you just talk to Josiah throughout the whole book, and we're so honored to have you tonight.
I'm honored to be here. I do have these cards. You can only get the cards from me. They're not on Amazon, but the book is on Amazon or from me. But I don't know how to do
I
Amazon
appreciate it. I highly recommend it. So
Thank you.
So also one other thing is that Raina's let us know that if you order the book through her website, she will sign it and send it to you. So
As long as you do it, you have to be in the US.
okay, yes.
I don't know what shipping to Canada was like $21. And so then I had to charge so much money and I didn't like that. So, so there's two links. There's one by the author and then it says US only. And then if you're not in the US, you could just go to Amazon from that link also. So.
well, we're going to ask everyone to unmute and say thank you to you. But again, I highly recommend her book.
Thank
It's
you.
just so beautiful.
Thank you.
Everyone
Thank
wants
you.
to unmute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raina.
Raina.
Thank you.
Raina.
Thank you.
I'm going to cry.
Thank you,
Have a
Raina.
wonderful
Thank you,
evening.
Thank you
everybody.
so
Thanks for
much.
being here.
Thank you. Thanks, Raina.